So. You want to be a dungeon master.
That's great. We're here to help. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Justin. This week, we're helping Dungeon Masters start their adventures in fun and exciting ways, not in taverns at all. And let's be clear, there's nothing wrong with starting in a tavern, and there's definitely ways to spice that up. But today, we want to help people get creative about how their story begins. So without further ado, let us begin. But first, always supposed to be a but first, I have another quick game for us for this episode. Another interesting little game. Last week we played a little bit of a matching game or not matching game where we were trying not to match. We almost made it the whole way. Now we're going to see kind of how in sync we are a little bit. As we all know, combat in D&D is 6 seconds per round. And I think that's sometimes it's a hard thing to get your head around. What actually is 6 seconds? Obviously, we've always played loose with that in our games where people are having full ass conversations. People are doing things, they're making decisions, they're trying things, they're making ability checks to see if they can remember if this monster is weak to this. 6 seconds goes by fast, or doesn't. That's what we're here to find out.
It does.
So we have a timer, and it'll be up on the screen for our video people. For our audio listeners, unfortunately, I didn't think this game through. It doesn't have a huge auditory component. Maybe I'll try and put a soundtrack in the background of ticking. I'll figure it out. But anyway, for our video listeners, you'll see the clock on the thing. I'm going to click play, and then I'm going to hopefully go for 6 seconds and stop it right exactly on 6 seconds. That's the goal. 6-0-0-0 all the way across the board. Taylor has no idea. Taylor can't see the clock. Taylor's going to have to guess if I was too fast and it's less than 6 seconds, or if I was a little too slow and the time has gone past 6 seconds. It's at like 7 or 8 or something like that. So we'll see how good we can do together. We're in sync. Hopefully, if I get under, he knows I'm under. If I get over, Taylor knows I'm over, because we're so in sync. Okay. I'm going to click start. I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, go. When I say go, I'm clicking the start button on the timer.
Okay.
And then I will tell you when I stop it.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Stop.
Slower by a lot.
Slower by a lot?
Yeah.
Okay, if I was trying to hit 6, what do you think I got?
I think you stopped the timer at 4.5 seconds.
Oh, interesting. Okay. It's at 7:48.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm way off then.
It could be this
Time
timer.
is a construct.
We don't know. Yeah, it could be this timer. It could be a million different things, right? Who knows? All right, let's try round 2. Round 2, we got this. We could do this. Here we go. Locked in. 3, 2, 1, go. Stop.
It's really close. I'm going to go earlier.
You think I was faster than 6 seconds? Okay. I was faster than 6 seconds. Nailed it. Can you guess how much faster?
I think you were at like 5:30.
Pretty freaking close. You're a half a second off. I'm at 5:80.
Okay.
Yeah, I almost nailed that one. Okay. Round 3. This is it for all the marbles. We're currently tied up. We got one right. We failed the other. We can do this. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. I stopped. Sorry. I stopped like a fraction of a second before I said but you're with me. You're with me. You got this. I could tell. Was I faster or slower than 6 seconds?
I have no idea. I'm faster. I have no clue.
Nailed it.
No clue.
Nailed it. 5:14. Okay. I mean, I'll tell you what. 6 seconds is fast. 6 seconds is pretty fast. Right? Like, if I put it back at 0, I'll put the little timer at 0. I click start. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 6 seconds. That's fast. Like, combat is crazy fast. Something to think about, folks. Well, that was a mini game. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Just kidding. We're still here. We still have a whole episode to talk about. So listen, check out that Patreon, folks, because there's going to be all kinds of content on there. Bonus content, some of it. And you can get it at the various tiers. And there's so many cool things there in addition to bonus podcast episodes, extra homebrew content, sit downs with the casts of our actual plays. So go check that out. Link in the description. Getting into the meat of the episode now. Taverns. Let's talk about taverns really quickly.
Was that another 6 seconds? That was faster, I think.
That was, I hope so. I hope it was faster than 6 seconds. But taverns are fine. There's nothing wrong with taverns. I think that's important just to say. We're not trying to come out here anti-tavern. We're not trying to come out here having people sign a petition to bring down taverns. We think taverns are fine.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with starting your campaign in a tavern. Puts the party all in one place. It's an easy way to show the vibes of the town that the tavern's in, right? If a tavern is in our underwater city of Rarewy, available on Patreon, then you can, imagine that Margaritaville fits there and it sets up the vibe of the whole place, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you go to one of our other settings, maybe there's a different type of tavern and that would also exemplify the vibes of that area.
Right.
It's also just a great way for new players because the expectations are kind of there of the trope, the familiarity a little bit while still learning the game.
Yes.
There's a little bit of like, it starts in a tavern is very like, it's very quintessential.
But it also works because of like, the like social construct is there as well. So when you have players who are new to role playing and stuff, like, oh, I don't know what I would do if I was in a room with a goblin and a orc, and they're like, I'm trying to do a heist, but you put me in a tavern. I've been to a bar before. I know what is expected of me as a player, as a character, I should say, in a setting like that. So it's easy to get people into that.
That's a really good point. People are familiar, if not with beholders, then with beer or something,
right?
Or bars,
right,
or whatever, right? So that's a really good point. I think the reason we're talking about this today is just because it can get old, just like any other cliche, right? If you're battling red dragons in their volcano lairs over and over and over and over again, even that will eventually get old, right? You can put twists on everything. And I think taverns have a lot of places that we can put twists on them. We've done an entire episode on taverns. Go back and listen to that one, including ways to make the tavern like have combat and exciting things and all kinds of ways to make it unique. So today we're just talking about maybe you want to start a campaign, whether it's a one shot, a short campaign, a long multi-year campaign, whatever. Let's start it a different way. Let's do something fresh. Let's do something new. And it might just be new to your table, right? Like, it's not like we do, like we'll talk about it later, but we do a lot of vignettes. That's like one of my favorite ways of starting actual plays is solo vignettes for each player. I didn't invent that. Brendan Lee Mulligan does it, but Brendan Lee Mulligan didn't invent it. People do vignettes. That's just like a normal thing. Bram Stoker's fucking Dracula is written from like letters where you're getting snippets of each character. It's totally, I don't know, like there's a million of ways to start a story. But I would consider this question first. Do the members of the party know each other?
Yeah, that's pretty important.
And of course, you
Because
could have like two people know each other and the others don't. But I'm
right,
talking more broadly speaking. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
are they an adventuring party already,
Hmm.
or nah?
Because this
Because
is gonna
if
kind of
nah, then we
yeah.
gotta talk.
The settings that you can start in are different for each scenario. Like the tavern works so well because you can have people know each other and not know each other. It would make sense for them to all be together in one spot. Well, if they don't know each other, what are the odds that you have this
Hmm.
random group of five people that somehow like magically comes together? And so you got to create the circumstance for all of them to get to know each other if they don't already. Otherwise, you
Yeah.
can start, if they do know each other, you can start doing some pretty fun stuff.
For example, if they already know each other, where are some places that this party would be all in one place? Maybe it's in the middle of combat,
Mhm.
right? You could just immediately have things started right from the get
Right.
go. Things are popping off. Like initiative is the first thing you do. You describe the setting. You're like, this beautiful desert kingdom, sand as far as the eye can see. This adventuring party crests over a massive dune as the sunset behind them illuminates the fucking desert. What I'm running out of words for desert.
Mhm.
But then a massive worm pops out of the ground. Roll for initiative. And that's how you start. You don't start with,
Yeah.
and everybody describe your characters one by one, please. It's just like, Mo, no, we're immediately jumping
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But I've seen people do that with taverns. You could do it a million different ways. But I think combat can be a really fun one. There's
Mhm.
also just the home base.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, bastions exist. We have future episodes and past episodes about bastions. And there's also just like before bastions came out, if you don't want to be mechanical about it and just be more role play focused, all kinds of HQs, whether they're
Yeah.
moving, mobile, demi plane, pocket plane, whatever it is, right? Um, Maybe they're just finishing one quest going into the next or something like that. They're like just at the tail end of a quest. They're bringing the head of the Gorgon to the whatever. You know what I
Right.
mean? They've just
Right.
finished that quest. Um, it makes me think of James Bond, which we'll talk about in a little bit as like an Ed Media Res kind of vibe. But
Right.
I also think there's a lot of examples for if they don't know each other.
Hmm.
Like there's millions, and we'll talk about those as well. I always find it easier where you still want them to meet pretty quickly. It depends on how
Hmm.
new the party is, how new the players are. I mean, like to D&D,
Right.
because you don't want to lose people's attention spans or like lose their patience because they're
Hmm.
sitting for an hour and you haven't even introduced their character.
Right. Right.
Like that's why I reserve some of that stuff for like more actual play stuff because it is such a performance and it's for entertainment. It's a little different than
Hmm.
truly just letting go like that. Like, right when you watch Game of Thrones, like Jon Snow doesn't care if Daenerys gets more screen time in season 4. Like, that doesn't fucking matter. But like, we're
Yeah.
human beings sitting at a table sharing time. So it is different.
Hmm.
Uh, that being said, like, I want to give them a common goal or a purpose quickly,
Hmm.
even if
Hmm.
it's temporary, even
Yeah.
if it's not going to be like the thing for the rest of the campaign. Just
Hmm.
to like even going back to the tavern. Oh, the tavern caught on fire. Okay, we got to fucking work together and help
Right.
out. The tavern's under a raid, or maybe a prison escape.
Hmm.
Maybe the town's been attacked, and these different heroes answer the call. Maybe it's an Ocean 11 style kind of thing, and everybody's been brought together to be a part of a
Right. Yeah.
larger
Yeah. Yeah.
team, or more of it, or maybe it's more like Clue, where it's like a shadowy figure brought you all together, and you don't really know the purpose yet.
Mm-hmm.
There's millions of ways you could just get everybody in a room, or
Yeah. I
not, maybe
mean,
not
one of
in a
my
literal room, but
yeah. One of my personal favorites is the traveling companions. because that was something that also happened a lot back in the day. The safety in numbers of, a bunch of merchants or just a bunch of people that needed to go from one town to another would all travel at one time, even if they didn't know each other, just because it was safer for all of them as a group if they all went together.
For
So
sure.
that's another really good thing. Just having a travel, like, they're all walking down the road, a stagecoach kind of situation, maybe something along those lines as you're traveling between places is another really good place to pick up the
Yeah,
story.
no doubt. A caravan already
Hmm.
on the move. Maybe maybe you guys are just part of it. This is all part of the conversation that you have with your people, your table
Hmm.
before the campaign starts, right? So it's almost like a part of session 0 is a good way to think about it. I usually include this type of discussion
Yeah.
in session 0, depending on if there's time, because I've also had session 0s with people who are like pretty new to the game. And I go into session 0 thinking I'm going to have time to talk about all of these things that are like story specific, such as, do you
Right.
guys all know each other? And let's create a bunch of bonds. And by the time I get to, okay, there's 12 classes in D&D. So
Right. Right.
barbarians are
Right.
kind of
Right.
like this. By the time I get through all of that, we've built everyone's characters, like level
Hmm.
1
Yep.
characters. We have species, we have backgrounds, we have that, we have stats. That's 2 hours.
Yep.
If I'm lucky.
And
If people are getting
yeah.
it, it's two
Yeah.
hours. So then to jump into like, how do you guys know each other? Depends on how much time you have in session 0 for everything from safety tools to whatever. If you have
Hmm.
time, or if you have a Discord server or some kind of way that you're disseminating information to everybody, a group chat, a freaking Slack, I don't know, WhatsApp,
Hmm.
whatever you're using, I think just having a conversation about how do you guys know each other? Do you know each other? What are the relationships of you guys? Is it possible that we all work together in one organization already? Maybe you guys are already part of the Adventurers Guild or
Hmm.
whatever. Like maybe we can, you know what I mean? Because sometimes I've also gone into things as a DM, and part of my pitch for do you want to play this game with me, this story, this 5 episode jaunt, is you guys are part of an assassin. It's like I'm already coming in with like, you guys know, I'm almost telling the players, you know each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
What,
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
friendly you are, that all of the relationship specifics is up to you guys. Sometimes I
Hmm.
come in as the DM and I say, here's my idea. You're part
Yeah.
of an assassin's guild. You guys are
Because
all
sometimes the
members of
story just
this.
doesn't have time for it. Especially when you're in
Yeah.
an actual play space, sometimes the story just doesn't have time for us to sit and bring everybody together. Sometimes we just need to be, all right, cool. You guys know each other. You're an adventuring party already. We've got things to do.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
That is what happens often when we're doing short season episodes. We don't have
mhm.
a critical role style of actual plays. So if we did, we would
Right.
do it differently, but that's not the case. So,
Mhm.
here we are. Uh, so tons of different ways to start the campaign. I mean, obviously we can look at media, we can look at books and all different kinds of pop culture to get ideas for how to start
Mhm.
a story. I mean, you can even go somewhere. What I like to do sometimes if I'm feeling like burnt out and I'm just looking for like inspiration, just like go on YouTube and type in like the best openings of movies. You know what I mean? Like or
Yeah.
intros to movies or something like that. You're
Mhm.
right. Like and you'll find millions of different
Yeah. Yeah.
videos of
Yeah.
compilations or film critics and analysts, and really just some of them are just straight up YouTubers who talk about film. But regardless,
Mhm.
some of that is really really interesting. You learn so many cool ways. Uh, Thinking about how the Dark Knight begins, like the whole clown robbery scene is like a
Oh,
really
yeah.
cool
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
that
That's a
movie
really, yeah.
begins, right? Like
And then
there's
that was
so many
really just
different.
a vignette for one character.
Yeah, I mean, he
That
ends
whole
up
thing
being
was
like the
just a
main villain, and
one.
it's like
Yeah. Yeah.
a
Yeah.
huge buildup, but
But I
it's
mean, if you
the
think none of the other people in that scene are ever seen again, it's just
yeah,
him.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Which is why, like, we always say this, but like, not movies aren't a perfect one to one for D&D
Yeah.
because of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
fact
Yeah.
that we're playing with a group. But still,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you can still take the ideas of like, what if you guys did start in the middle of a
Mm,
robbery and you guys were doing the robbery? That's really interesting, actually. Maybe things do go wrong. Maybe there is a person in the crew who's the Joker and you guys are all
right.
the stooges.
Oh, right. And you guys
Now what
cop to
happens,
the
right?
thing.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like maybe you guys aren't like offing each other in the way that the movie goes, but maybe just there are other people in the
No,
group who
I
are
mean,
like,
really though, it's
it's
like,
more like
hey,
A team and B team rather than
look,
we're legit just gonna
we've
kill
been
each other.
planning this heist for 6 months together. We've been almost in the same room for 6 months. I don't hate you. Did you also get a weird like ask of like, did he ask you to kill me? Because he asked me to kill you.
No,
Did
he did. He didn't say
yeah,
anything to me. No, 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 no,
sure. Okay, yeah, all right.
no, no, no. What?
We
We
should
I don't even have a
unionize against
phone.
him.
Yeah.
I
He
don't
just
even.
I don't even think he has my number actually. Yeah, so weird. Weird you got a call like that. Maybe it was a prank call. What's that over there?
What?
Okay. Anyway, so when it comes to starting your campaign, I'm interested to hear what our listeners and followers and stuff are doing with their campaign. So please send us an email. So you want to be a DM at gmail.com. That's so you want to be a DM at gmail.com. Send us an email. I want to hear how you started your campaign. Maybe it's cool. Maybe we'll talk about it in the next episode. I don't know. That being said, here are three of my favorite ways of starting a campaign. I want to hear your take on these, Taylor. If you have anything
Okay.
to add, if you disagree, I'd love to hear it.
Mm.
First up, solo vignettes. I already mentioned it up at the top. I really do love starting off campaigns this way. I just, for me, it's like because we're doing actual plays often, which means anywhere between 4 to 8 episodes of truncated campaign doing, right?
Right. Right.
Like you said, we don't have time to get into all of the shit. The solo vignette allows me to give each character a little moment independent of the rest of the party.
Right.
Let's get to meet your character not as part of the adventuring party, but as their own individual, right?
Yeah.
Like, what would they be doing without this group? Or, and obviously, I've done the solo vignette thing so many times that there are times where maybe I flavor it and I'm like, in this solo vignette, everybody's going to do. I want to hear about how you guys like joined this group. How did you guys
Right.
get this mission? How are you guys in this situation? How are you guys the class that you are? Like if you're a cleric, when did you decide that that was the move or whatever, right? Like warlock, when did you make that pact? I just love it. I think it's the bee's
I
knees. It's
I
so
do
fun.
enjoy the vignettes. I like that, I've never really been on the DM side of it, but as a player, it kind of allows you to give like describe your character in action. What is not just what do they look like, but what are they doing? How are they acting? What are they, what are their responses to things? It really lets you flesh out your character really fast
Hmm.
in, just being able to jump into that role play right out the gate.
True, especially when I have the opportunity to work with the player beforehand and like let them know,
Mm,
like I'm going to start with a solo vignette. Any ideas and we can bounce off each other a little bit
right.
because you're right, it's like a whole scene as opposed to okay, you're in the tavern, describe your character. It's just like what you're wearing and there's x number of things you can do in the bar, but x is not that huge of a
Right.
number in this
Right.
context.
Right.
Whereas for this flashback thing it could be fucking anything, so it's like
Hmm.
so many options. And we've done it in our games where like in It's a Small World, you're playing a little bug who comes from flea circus, but we never get to see the flea circus as a present day.
Right.
The flea circus only gets shown because of these flashbacks, and
Hmm.
that's cool in and of itself. We got to explore that part of the setting in a way
Right.
that would never otherwise not have been ignored, right? Like we wouldn't have time to get to it. So that's awesome. That's what I mean. Like that's a cool thing.
Hmm.
The characters who had warlock patrons and clerics, like they had cool flashbacks to their different things. The barbarian had cool things. Yeah, that season had solo vignettes
Yeah.
out the wazoo.
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
want a recommendation or rather a an example to you want someone see how it's done, go ahead and watch any of our episode ones of our actual plays. They're
Yeah,
on
they're pretty
YouTube
much
or
all like
on
that.
the
Yeah.
podcast itself. So
Mhm.
truly, episode one of almost every single thing, it starts with a vignette. There might be like even the ones that start mid combat go into flashback vignettes. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm pretty prolific. I love it. So I do that very often. Number two, starting right in the shit,
Yeah.
right in the smack of the dab. Whether it's combat, an escape, a heist, why not begin when the action, intrigue, tension is already at an all-time high?
Mm-hmm.
The technical term for this is in media res. It just means in the middle of things. So there's millions of examples of this. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
usually what happens is a story will do this and then they'll use a lot of
Cut
flashbacks to fill in the story. You see that a lot with
6
when it comes to
years
like books or
earlier.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like an easy example is the Odyssey, like the actual epic poem.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The epic poem begins with Odysseus. He's already on Calypso's island. And then we hear a lot. It's a lot of like, this is a perfect example of the I bet you're wondering how I got here.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The record scratch
Exact. Odysseus
falling
is
out of the
like
window.
his people are turning into pigs, and he's like, "Oh no!" Turns to faces camera and goes, "I bet you're wondering how I got here." Like,
Yeah.
and then it's a
Yeah, yeah,
flashback,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
truly. And then that's one of those stories where it catches up and then passes it, which is
Right.
another classic storytelling technique. I mean,
Mhm.
Memento would
Mhm.
be an even crazier example of time telling out of
Right. Yeah, yeah,
pocket
yeah.
shit. But James Bond films, another example. I mentioned
Always.
that already. Almost, and I'm only saying almost because I haven't literally seen every James Bond movie, but almost every James Bond movie begins with 007 in like the middle of usually parkour, but
Mhm.
some kind of
Mhm.
action shoot scene, some kind of sequence.
So not to that just as like a little fun fact thing about James Bond films, there is one where he actually gets married at the beginning of the film and the action starts taking place on his honeymoon in the Alps.
There you go.
So, but yeah, so
Perfect.
there's like you're right, they are very few and far between where they don't start with him already doing some
Yeah.
wild, some kind of spy shit in general.
Some spy shit. Yeah,
Some
for
kind of
sure.
spy
He's
shit. Except
snowboarding
for
down a
that one
mountain.
movie, I think
He's
it's From Russia with Love. I think it starts with him. He gets married. They go on the honeymoon. His wife immediately dies, and we're back in the shit. That's how.
classic.
That's how
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah,
goes.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Classic. An up situation.
Yeah.
Another example would be Mitchell's versus Machines. If
Mhm.
you know me, you know that I love this movie. This movie, have you ever seen it?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Brother, do yourself a favor. Smoke a fat one, watch this movie, okay? You're gonna die laughing. Danny
Okay.
McBride plays the dad. I
Okay.
so
Yeah.
funny. The woman
I'm sold.
from Bridesmaids, the one who's like the bride, not the bridesmaid.
Mhm.
That actress, I can't remember her. Maya Rudolph. She
Okay.
plays the mom. It's so
She's
good.
hilarious too.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, it's so good, dude. The
Yeah.
scripting, the writing, the animation is really beautiful. It's actually like really fun. It's like a more cartoony like kid version of like Spider-Verse, like how it's like a little messy on purpose. Like it's just cool.
Okay.
And what I will say is that movie begins in media res. So it starts with like the machines have attacked and then it pauses and she literally does like a I bet you're wondering how we got here. Let me start at
Mhm.
the beginning. It
Right,
rewinds
right,
and then
right.
we get to that point and then we pass it. And it's awesome. Um, I think this method is really, really fun. It gives like I think it's better when the players can establish relationships with one another early on.
Mhm.
Um because you're already starting in the shit. So it's like you don't have to worry about building up relationships or figuring things out or whatever. It also can speed up the friendships because they're already established. And the current mission, the one that we're starting in Media Res, has some
Mhm.
connection to the next one.
Yeah.
So these just make it even easier. Now, none of these are necessarily like you have to have them. Like the current mission doesn't need to have anything to do
Right.
with the next mission, but it can.
Bonus
And
points if the current mission seems like it's unrelated, and then you come to find out later.
yeah,
That's bonus DM points. Let us
there
know
you
if you
go.
can pull that off. I really
Send
want to
us an
know.
email.
Send
Yeah.
us an email. SYWBADM@gmail.com.
The third one that I love, and I've done it a couple times, is dramatic irony. I've been a big fan of this. I've used it in actual plays. It happens in Oops All
Mhm.
Healers. It happened in the very beginning of Sphinx City Season 2.
Mhm.
It's called dramatic irony. So what I love to do here is something that I see sometimes in actual plays. I'm curious if other people ever do it, where you as the dungeon master are describing a scene that the party has no idea that that is happening. You're not talking to the party members, the PCs, the characters. You're talking to the players, and you're
Mhm.
just treating them like an audience of an actual play almost. And you're just giving them a little sneak peek of something that their characters have no idea is happening. So obviously it depends on a little bit of trust and a little bit of like metagaming bullshit, whatever.
Yeah.
But
This is
as long as that's the case, and most times it is,
mhm.
because you're making it very clear of like you guys aren't here.
Yeah.
Like it's very obvious that they're not here, that this is dramatic irony. So it's like a literary
Mhm.
tool where you want the audience to know something, and in this case the players,
Right.
that
Right.
the characters don't know.
Mhm.
Right? It's like it happens a lot in detective or murder mystery kind of shows where the audience gets to know who the killer is before the detectives do.
Mhm.
Would be an easy example.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've done this a number of ways. You can start with a role play scene or a description of some kind of palace or maybe the hideout of the villain, but using enough vague clues where it's not obvious. And you get to do an uninterrupted monologue. What a treat, right? So you get to have that one for free. I think that it gives the players an interesting opportunity to receive information and important details that, like, you're telling the players some interesting stuff. Maybe in the future things get a little complicated and they're like, I really don't know where to go from here. And then I think the DM can be like, remember that thing that you, the player, saw? Like maybe there's something, and it
Right.
can just maybe inform some things. I don't know.
Yeah.
That you're getting into some interesting metagame stuff there, depending on how I guess
That
egregious it
one
can
is,
be.
yeah.
But
This one is very dependent on the party to not be the metagamey type of, oh,
for
well, you
sure,
told
like
us, so now, you
yeah,
know,
yeah, you definitely hope that it's not like,
I'm going
okay,
to the
the
library to go research that thing you just talked about, even though my character has no reason to
yeah,
do
it's
that right
like,
now. Yeah.
okay, like your character doesn't even know that that thing exists because you
Right.
weren't in the room at all. Like, what are we talking about?
Right.
But like, maybe I don't know if a character had scrying, you could be like, hey, roll a D100, fucking odds or evens or whatever, and be like,
Right.
maybe you had a scry in that room. Maybe you did see that scene or whatever, or like they find a recording of that scene. I don't know.
Right.
Right? Like there's a million different ways to do it, but I just think that like those are three of my ways that I just really enjoy starting campaigns. It makes things feel really fresh, even
Hmm.
if it's just a simple scene. It doesn't even need to be like a huge information gathering moment for the players. It's truly just like
Yeah.
you're starting with this description, and then you start talking about the villain, and maybe the villain meets a character who's hooded, and you give that like one detail, like one of his eyes has a scar over it. Then
Hmm.
for the next 7 sessions, introduce 14 people with scars over their eyes
Yeah.
and just watch them squirm. Like, I don't know. Like, there's some fun things you could do with it. Maybe I'm being a little antagonistic, but I like it. I think we as Dungeon Masters deserve these moments. The amount
We
of
do.
pages that are out there on how players can make broken characters, I think we deserve a W from time to time.
Hmm.
Speaking of W's, though, let's fix some taverns. Let's
Sure.
pull it. What's that guy's name?
Not the
What's that show? Um, oh
Kitchen
man,
Nightmares or not. No,
not
you're talking
Kitchen
about
Nightmares,
the
the bar one.
bar rescue. I
Bar
don't know.
Rescue. John
Yeah.
Tafferty, I
That's
think his
it.
name is.
That's it.
Listen, listen.
Yeah,
I
big
come in
guy,
here.
big guy, big personality.
He's
Yeah.
got he's got a 5 head. He's like, listen,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? Huge forehead, that guy. But I mean, he's
I can't
right
speak
some of the
on that.
times. I think the guy is a little, I don't know, he feels like the embodiment of capitalism a little bit. But
Right.
we are going to get in here. We're going to fix some of these tavern tropes.
Let's do it.
What if the tavern explodes?
Easy.
Easy,
Lot of
Tiger. Easy,
alcohol.
Tiger. I think it could be a fun way. You're describing
Yeah.
the tavern. You're like, you guys are all in the tavern. The bartender's there. He comes over to your guys' table. He sets down a tray of ice cold ale, condensation on the outside, and then you all hear it. Tick, 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 boom. Play the music. And then you go into it, right? Boom, that's fun. Roll for initiative. Yeah. What if the tavern suddenly goes mobile? AKA,
That would
you
be
didn't know
fun.
it was mobile.
Right.
Maybe it's on the back of a giant animal.
I like
Like
that. Tavern
a
turtle.
gerbil. Oh, or turtle. Dragon turtle. Definitely works. Way more
No,
D&D.
tavern turtle. It's a tavern turtle.
A giant tavern turtle. That makes me think of, although it was a pig, the anime Seven Deadly Sins.
Oh, yeah.
They had a pig tavern. It was a massive pig with
Yeah.
just a tavern on its back.
Uh-huh.
I think, yeah, or maybe it's just an airship. Maybe it just literally takes off.
Yeah. Airship. What is it?
What the hell?
Like the house in God of War, it just kind of like grows legs and starts
Yeah, it could Baba Yaga its way out of there.
Yeah.
All kinds of things you could do to a tavern to make it mobile. And then that in and of itself is crazy because you play into it different ways. Maybe there's a player in the group who does know that they're more of a local. They're like, yeah. What do you mean you didn't know that this was a giant turtle? Of course it is. It's a tavern turtle. You haven't heard of that? You idiot.
Never heard of a tavern turtle? You idiot.
You've never heard of a... Oh my... This guy's never heard of a tavern turtle. Asshole. Just like truly, just like everybody in the bar hates this guy. What a fun way to start your campaign. You're welcome, guys. This is what we're saying. There's so many options. But what if that tavern even has portals to other worlds? What if it's like a tavern on the material plane, normal on the outside? When you go inside, the clientele is like just tourists from everywhere.
Yeah, like
devils
a
coming in,
like
celestials, elementals, just like fae.
Space.
Yeah, just that's awesome. That immediately makes it more interesting.
Neutral territory.
Exactly. Maybe the tavern like is the location of the combat and it's about to kick off.
Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, I've seen that in I've seen a lot of people do like the bar fight.
Yeah.
It combines the en media res with the kind of thing of like, we're starting off things immediately, but it's
hard for me to be a dickhead in like, in general. Like just to like kicking off a bar fight.
Kicking off the bar fight for sure. But sometimes you're ending the bar fight. You know what I mean?
True.
Sometimes it's more like just that the other adventurers in the bar are like, "What are you guys here? You guys can't be adventurers. You guys look too small." And then boom, fight breaks out because one of them is going to be like, "I'm going to punch you. Actually, I'm going to just punch you."
Right.
And they start it. And like my dad always said, as long as you don't throw the first punch, get in there. Get in there, you know?
That's hilarious.
Maybe meeting in the tavern happened 10 years ago. So you can start in the tavern. Everything is normal. Normal starting in a tavern. Boom, time jump. 10 years later. Something you should talk to your table about. But could be really exciting. Returning to the tavern after 10 years. That's another way to make the tavern way more interesting. What if this was the tavern that you guys started in, but now it's been 50 years and you're coming back to the tavern for the first time in forever? You know what I mean? Like so many cool options.
Yeah.
So gang, if you're listening and you have started your campaign in a tavern and you're like, Justin, our way was pretty cool. Prove it. Send us an email at SYWBADM@gmail.com. Now, What we're going to be talking about next is a little something
Pull up the wiki first.
called the Bell Witch, which I'm having trouble finding, which is so interesting because I fully looked up this article the other day.
All right,
It's
so
haunted,
tell
bro.
us
It didn't
about
like
the
that I was looking
Bell.
it up.
Tell us
No,
about the
it's cool.
Bell
I
Witch
remember
from
I remember the
memory.
Bell Witch, bro.
Yeah,
I remember it. I can just run off
yeah.
memory. Here we go. Okay.
Bell Witch. Tell me
And
about it.
gang, guess what? It's that time of the week again. Time for Monster of the Week. Oh! Okay. Taylor, this week I have a special one for you because as it turns out, the article that I found has vanished into thin air. And that only speaks to the power of the Bell Witch from Tennessee. Okay?
Okay.
Here's the deal.
Tennessee.
It's called the Bell Witch. Yeah, it's from a really specific town in Tennessee too, and I'd love to tell you more about it, but I can't because that part of the article is also vanished. So the thing is, it's called the Bell Witch, but it's actually a more like a poltergeist. This is like a malevolent spirit that was haunting a specific house that belonged to the Bell family. Their last name being Bell.
Got it. I thought.
But over the time, exactly. So did I. When I first clicked on this, I for surely was thinking, oh, a bard witch? I'm in, bro. Like a little bell, something ringing a bell, like maybe church towers, steeples, what have you. The hunchback of queendom of Bell Witch. What? What is happening? So like what had happened was there is all of these terrible things happening. It's just like any other like spirit ghost story, kind of little tiny things, right? Cabinet doors, cold spots, little things. But this particular ghost seemed to not like the husband, I believe, is what my memory is telling me from the week ago I wrote this or read this article that literally doesn't exist anymore. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weirded me out a little bit that I can't find anything on the Bell Witch. When
it's
I
on
swear,
actual real Wikipedia.
I found this thing. It's crazy.
There's a movie.
I'm not surprised, bro. I'm not surprised, dude. It was all over the news, dude. It was all over the news, dude.
10% on Rotten Tomatoes. 3.6 out of 10 on IMDb.
Well, that's not my fault that M. Night Shyamalan ruined it or whatever, probably. But so in 1894 they even come out in the newspaper, authenticated history of the Bell Witch. Book is widely regarded as the first full-length record of the legend and a primary source for subsequent treatments. Truly, it was like they claim that it was able to speak. It could affect the physical environment. It shape-shifted. But then, of course, this story takes on a mind of its own, right? And once it becomes a book and it's in newspapers and stuff, because then it's like it can do stuff like there's invisible dogs that are fighting and you can hear chains on the floor. And people thought that might be like hellhounds or this or that. There's also the Bell family, not great people. They did own slaves. So there's a lot of probable that they are haunted. And so the reason I bring up this story, Taylor, is because I just want to pour one out for the Bell Witch. I just think a lot of time these ghosts get a bad rep when really they're just haunting racists. John Bell Sr., known as Old Jack, the witch claimed she intended to kill him and signaled this intention through curses, threats, and affliction. The Bell patriarch was poisoned by the witch. Afterward, the entity interrupted the mourners by singing drinking songs. That's sick, dude.
Yeah.
You kill a racist and then at their fucking funeral, you start doing shot. That's crazy, dude. That's awesome. I love this lady. And I want more like her. Taylor, read us out, baby.
All right. That's all we can get into this time. You can find us on TikTok and Instagram at So You Want to Be a DM, or you can ask us a question at SoYouWantToBeADM at gmail.com. If you like the episode, don't forget to give us 5 stars and review wherever you found us, and check out the Patreon, the Twitch, and our merch with the link in the description. Join us next time for more Dungeon Master tips and tricks.
Bye.
See ya.
Hey gang, it's Justin. I have the honor of giving a shout out to the members of our Patreon gang. Nut Muffins, may Palor's light shine upon you. Marsavies, have you watered your flesh prison lately? Yazvai, the eternal library, where color and community await you. Molly Adeza, who gets yet another level up. Amy Rose Zero, today, don't forget to touch grass, be kind, and resist fascism. And there's Caden, Elijah, Tappy, and Linguini. Gang, we appreciate and love you. Tune in next time for more tips and tricks from So You Wanna Be a DM.